It's really, are you using all of your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your skills, everything to make a difference in this world? You know, my mentor, Steve, when we first got connected with Life Leadership, he asked me the question. He said, Randy, he said, in your life, he said, could you, if you stopped working Monday morning and you couldn't work anymore, do you have enough set aside to take care of your living experience, your living expenses, or your current lifestyle? Do you have enough put aside? And my answer to that was no. And so I really had to search and to really think about where we were financially, and to think that, you know, there's got to be some other ways. And so if you calculated, I just want to give you some statistics here, that if you look at your home life, you know, most people that we interact with on a regular basis, they have a mortgage that's anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a month. They have student loans. They have credit card payments. They have an automobile payment. And if you look at all of your expenses that you put out on a monthly basis, anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500 a month in interest that you're paying on debt that you're servicing. So my question to you is, have you ever calculated your household, how much money is going just to service debt? And most people have a lot. I was actually calculating this morning, looking at our own finances, and most people have anywhere from 50 to 70% of the money that comes in every month into their household goes out in taxes and expenses. Wow, that's a lot. That's huge. And unfortunately, our culture is an entertainment-driven culture. Everything around us wants us to be entertained and to get into financial stress and debt. And so the more that you can tune down or tune out that information and begin to put in the right stuff and positive messages and good stuff into your mind and in your thinking, it's going to change your life. And so I was reading some statistics about how much companies pay in advertising just to buy your money, to get you to buy their products and to buy their stuff. And there's nothing wrong with entrepreneurship and businesses. It's just that there is a system in place behind the scenes that most people are not aware of. And in our financial fitness program, we talk about the playing field of money. And so really that system is designed to keep people in debt. And just to give you a quick example, I got my oil changed here recently, and the sign on the board gave me a price, and I thought that was fair. And so I went in and had they started taking information, and he asked me what kind of oil I wanted. And so I told him, and he said, well, your type of car really should use this. And it was like double the price of what was on the sign. And I said, no, I want the price that's on the... And he said, well, that's not really the best. It's more of a cheaper... And so I went back and forth with this guy for probably a minute. And finally, I think I wore him down because he said, okay, I'll give you that. And he went on and serviced my car. Now, I knew the owner of the oil change place. And I had a previous conversation with him probably a couple of years before that. And he shared with me that the oil company that he represents gives him a kickback for selling more oil of that premium oil amount. And so what that tells me is that there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we really don't know about, that we need to educate ourselves and be more educated about that. So just a little side note there. So what we are out to do is to educate people and help people to not only get out of debt, but also to figure out where they want to go and live their purpose in life. So hope that answers some questions for you.
Yeah, that's all good stuff, Randy.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. So from you look back at your life where you were in debt and you're busted and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And now, are you debt free? Are you still on the road to being debt free? Where are you now? Because I understand, and I'm sure some of the listeners know too, that when you're in a financial situation, whether you're in debt or because of loved ones or whatever the case may be, and you move toward getting out of debt, it's a process.
Yeah.
So how was the process that you went from there to here? What was your process? How long did it take you? And are you still in that, or are you out of it, or where you are?
Great question. No, that's great. I'm happy to say that today we are debt free. We don't owe anybody anything. Excuse me. And we, about a year ago, paid cash for our first vehicle, which we were really excited about. But if you're in debt, getting out of debt is not going to happen overnight. It takes time. And so through this process, we've been involved or associated with this company about 3 years. And so through that time frame, we have gotten out of debt. And now we're starting to build an asset that is going to be our future, and it's going to take over our job situation where we won't have to worry about that or have that in our thinking. But so to answer your questions, no, we're not in debt anymore. And we're so thankful. But it is a process, and you can't if it took you 10, 15 years to get in debt, don't expect it to be overnight. It's going to take, learning and getting around the right information and getting around the right people. In our financial fitness program, we have a hierarchy of money that we suggest people kind of work through. And the first step on that hierarchy is investment in you, because you are your greatest investment. Mm-hmm. What you do every day is a reflection of what you know and the experiences that you've had. And so you are in control of your thoughts and your actions and what you visualize every day. Mm-hmm. And so what we had to begin doing was and you might think this sounds crazy, but on our wall, we began putting pictures of what we wanted. We put a picture of of a car on our wall that we wanted, and we began working towards having the resources to pay for that cash. And we paid cash for our first vehicle, but we looked at that on the wall for a long time, because we were programming our subconscious mind to work towards that. And so we suggest people to do three things: have long-term vision. So whatever it is that you want in your life, have long-term vision and be willing to work for that. We have an entitlement society today. Mm-hmm. And it's not easy to find people who are really willing to work and to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals and their dreams. So we began with pictures on our wall of things that we were wanting, that we wanted to achieve, goals that we wanted to hit. The second thing, besides having a long-term vision, is delaying your gratification. Now, I know that you're going to have, you're going to see stuff on TV, you're going to see stuff on social media, you're going to have billboards screaming at you, all kinds of stuff. And what you have to say is no, because you don't have to be in debt. Our society and our culture programs us from the time we're small to be in debt and to finance things. You don't have to be in debt.
I want to stop you right there. You mentioned something that is so powerful when you said the word no. Why is it so hard or difficult or challenging for us to say no? Why is it so simple to just continue to go on the same path or down the same road?
We are emotional creatures, And we make decisions many times because of emotions. And if you watch any TV commercial or any kind of commercial out there, they play to your emotions. And in our business and in our company, we have a book and we talk about the ant and the elephant. And the elephant is our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind only works on pictures. We visualize things. And so it's hard to say no, because all of the advertisement, all the stuff that we see out there is constantly sending pictures to our subconscious mind, to our elephant, because it's based on emotion, it's based on feeling. If it feels good, do it is kind of the slogan out there. So, there's a new ice cream comes out, and there's a new flavor. It's the pumpkin latte, whatever, And my wife said, in fact, we passed by a store last night. She said, "Oh, they have ice cream cones for $1. I can find $1, honey." And but they play on our emotions, and so it's hard to say no, but we have to develop habits in our life. And when we develop, and I'm not saying that you can't splurge once in a while if you have the cash, but it's developing the proper habits in our life. And the way we develop those proper habits is through our thinking and through the choices that we make. And when we have the proper habits in our life, we'll take the proper actions. And then when we take the proper actions, we receive the results of that. So our ant, as I referred to earlier, is really our thinking, our conscious thinking and choices that we make every day. And so that's why we encourage you to make choices to begin to put the right information in your head so that you won't be tempted to get that ice cream.
Although it comes with many flavors.
Absolutely, and my wife loves ice cream. Actually, I grew up, my dad always made homemade ice cream, and I remember that from the time I was knee-high to a grasshopper, but I didn't develop that same hunger, although I do like it, but I'm more of a chocolate chip cookie kind of guy. You put a chocolate chip cookie in front of me, I'll eat it up, man. But anyways, I hope that kind of answers your question, and it's all about saying no is not easy, but the more you learn to say no and develop that habit, the easier it's going to get for you.
And I think you mentioned it earlier, it's about stewardship, basically, in every area of our life, you know, because God, everything belongs to him anyway. And so when we see that and we have that mindset, then we can embrace certain things, and certain things won't be as hard to take in and understand and stuff like that. But I also, as you was talking, I was thinking of what life leadership kind of like in a nutshell. And so I was thinking of it as, you have this brain and you have all these pieces that shows different life experiences in your mind. Right. And to me, it's like when life leadership comes, and it's like a hand, and it like moves certain pieces to fit it so that your brain can think better than what your environment said or your lifestyle showed, or even the way you were thinking. So it's basically changing our mindset so that we can live a more productive, more quality of life, whatever that life is, because someone may not want to be rich. Right. Someone may just want to be able to pay their bills. Absolutely. And be able to take their family on a cruise. Absolutely. But being able to have that mindset is still vital in everything, in anything that we do. We have to change our mind, the way we think about things. Absolutely. So I think the more that we change our mind, that right there is the foundation of everything else changing. Do you agree? Absolutely. Absolutely. Life leadership as a whole is out to help people to do just that, to help them to change their thinking, to help them to live a more productive life, a life filled with excellence and prosperity. The whole concept behind life leadership is it's kind of like a community. There's some great communities out there. For example, Weight Watchers. Many people
get involved with that organization because they want to be healthier. They want to lose weight.